I'm Patrick Bay with IQlist.com. Today is March 19th, 2020, and I have been talking to myself for the last half hour, thinking that I had gone live, and I was not actually alive. So that's pretty funny. Um, so I apologize for that, for the people who've been hanging out here waiting for a stream to start that never started. Um, I was a little late to my original stream just because it's been snowing out here. So I apologize for all that. So back to the thing at hand. Anybody have any questions on Prusa Mini? That's why I wanted to start this. And in the meantime, I was just fiddling with Fusion 360 in the background while I did a couple of things. So if anyone's out there who has any questions, feel free to ask. And I'm sorry for being late to all this, but it's been snowing like crazy here in Colorado. It's been hard to keep up, and I'm kind of rather sore from shoveling. So if there are any questions, and I don't do that many streams, so okay, let's delete that. I'll do this from the bottom. So I'm just fiddling with a planter right now. My wife wanted me to make a planter for her plants, and so I'm just fiddling with that right now. Oh, I do want that, so that's correct. Stop it. Yeah, let's do a 45. And then move this. If anyone has any questions on Prusa Mini stuff, feel free to ask. In the meantime, I'm just kind of fiddling until someone asks a question. Okay. So I'm in Fusion 360 here. I'm trying to make I'm making a pot and I'm trying to make a slope so the water will flow out. So here, that's why I'm doing this right now. So I'll combine these, which is silly to say combine because I'm actually going to, oh, wrong one. Target body, tool body, and I want to cut. So it's hard to see, but I'm trying to slope it one way and also slope it the other way. So the only way to really do that is to save it as an STL file. So I'm going to save it again, which I just tried it a second ago, but didn't do a very good job of it. So let's see if we can drag it in here. Plant, there we go. In fact, let me go a little more detail just so I can see if I can actually see the slope or not. I don't know. Slope them down. But I wouldn't say it's actually sloping over. Do a little more extreme on that. Let me go back and try some more. Let me see if I can edit the feature on here. Yeah. Back in my history. We were angling it, but I don't think I'm angling it quite enough. I'll do that right here. Boom. We'll just add additional degree to it. Hit OK, and then go back through my history. That should turn around, go down, and remove it. It looks right. I'm angled right there. And I think I'm angled right there. It's hard to see in the 3D. Let me say that again. Oh. Plant. Daughter. Just a pot. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask about the Prusa Mini or any Prusa stuff or 3D printing things or anything. Because I did not really create a subject for this aside from just being open to answer any questions. So it's kind of a free-for-all for anyone who wants to ask anything. Ooh, I think that might have gotten it. Ah, that looks better. Look at that. I just need a little bit more of an angle. So my idea is that I would put a drain in one corner and you can see it flows down. There we go. Perfect. So, there we go. I like it. Okay. Now let me go back into here. The nice thing is I can draw from this, but let me go remove this body, go back to the sketch, and I'm going to press pull just that so I get the pointer up. So we'll pull it up, I'll just pull it up 80 to make this thing a whole square. Well, that's kind of a lot. Let me bring that back, hide that sketch, and well, I could join those. I'll leave them separate for now. So there is a rough pot. Oh, hello, how's the Mini? I still in love with the MK3S. The MK3S, I still like the MK3S. I like them both. From what I'm experiencing right now, the Prusa. Okay, I should probably stop. Someone asked a question. Yay! So Jay Mercado, and forgive me if I murder everyone's name because I can murder some names. He says, "Hello, how is the Mini? I'm still in love with the MK3S. If you have MK3S, unless you need more capacity, there's no reason to buy the Mini. The Mini is, well, I shouldn't say there's no reason. There's always weird reasons. For me, I want to encourage homeschoolers and different things like that, so there's totally a reason for me to buy it. But if you just want reliability and output and more features, well, it's hard to say more features right now. The MK3S and the Prusa Mini seem to be printing at really similar levels. I mean, I've done a bunch of prints. Like, you know, I've put some things out on Instagram. I have this nice bone dragon. This was printed on the i3MK, the MK3S. And I have another one that's printed on the Mini. And you look at them quality-wise, and they look really similar. I mean, the quality is there. But with the Mini, you're going to limit yourself. So the Mini can't print more exotic materials. And the MK3S, the Mini doesn't have an option yet, and it may never have an option. In fact, I would guess they would never have the option for multicolored prints on it. Where the i3 MK3S, you could add a kit where you can do multicolor. I haven't done that yet, but it's you know, it's really cool. You got a bigger print plate. The only thing that you can say the MK3S doesn't have yet, because I imagine they'll add this in a couple of, well, I imagine they'll add this year. I'm liking the fact that we have this little LCD screen. I'm liking where they're going with it. I appreciate a lot when I can go in and I have a lot of prints, so it's really nice when it shows the image on the screen, and so I can go, oh yeah, like I'm printing all these dragons out right now, right? And I have a small dragon and I have a big dragon. And so at some points, I'm going to print one. I'm like, oh crud, that's the small dragon. I can tell because where the picture is on the print plate that it shows. So that's a nice thing. Also, the Ethernet that they have hooked in there. I think there's going to be some interesting things that come of it. But I think that's going to be something like that is going to be stuck on the MK3S here in the next 8 to 12 months. Don't quote me on that. But I think it's going to happen. And then it would be just a matter of really, it's just when they have that equality going. Then it's just a matter of this one's bigger, the i3 Mark III, and it can be upgraded to multicolored. I bet you that's what you'll be able to say in the future. And then the only other thing is portability, I guess. The MK3, the Prusa Mini is slightly more portable, and so there is that. But then it's just price, you know. So Um, I think they're both fine. I mean, me right now, especially when you're a new 3D print, if you're just getting into 3D printing, pretty much you're probably going to stay away from exotic materials. You'll be doing PLA and PETG, and I haven't actually even gotten away from those yet. I've been too busy doing this and that and the other, so I haven't even done anything beyond PLA and PETG, and you can do a lot with that. MK4 upgrade. Yeah, I bet you when they do the MK4, that's the other nice thing. Um, if if you think this LCD screen is cool, and you're like, man, I'd like to have that on the MK3, so I'll wait. Well, you don't have to wait because right now Prusa, sorry, I should say this, Hannibal says MK4 upgrade. That's my guess, and I think he's right. So the nice thing is Prusa has a history of always adding upgrade kits. So like um, right now, I have my i3 MK3, and if all of a sudden they have an MK4 upgrade kit that includes an LCD screen, and they have some new, for well, the LCD screen's going to cost a little bit. Let's say 250, 200, 250. I'd probably do it. So I don't think there's any problem in going, hey, I'd like to have that in the future. Just go buy an MK3 if you want the bigger size, and then in 12, 8 to 12 months, I bet, could be wrong, they'll have a kit, they'll have a new version, and it'll just be like, here's the LCD screen with an Ethernet and all this jazz, and it'll be a nice upgrade. Um, it would be replacing the motherboard, so it might be a more expensive upgrade, but I bet you there will be. So, but quality wise, I'm loving this Prusa Mini because I'm going to homeschool conference here in June. Hopefully, we'll see how this virus stuff plays out. Uh, and it wasn't a hard sell, but I've gone there for 2 years, and I'm trying to evangelize and tell these people that all these homeschoolers they need a printer for many many reasons, and I just tell them on the i3 MK3, and so but $800, you know, that's a bit of money for a family to go blow on one thing that they may not commit to. But at 400, 350 to $400, um, that's like a family birthday present. And if I go to the conference this year and show them this, in the past few years, I've sold a few MK3s because people got it and understood, and they were willing to go that far. But I bet you with a $400 version, this Prusa Mini, they're going to be a lot more buy-in. People are going to buy. Do I think the MK4 will be? Oh, here, Jay Mercado. Yeah, you think the MK4 will be done this year? I don't keep track of every little thing Prusa does, but I know the Prusa Mini's been probably more successful than he thought it was going to be. I mean, he probably was hoping, and he's trying to keep up with orders. And also, if you look at some of the stuff, I love what he's doing. He's trying to not just surge. He's a small company, so he can't just go make a gazillion Prusa Minis, get them out the door. Okay, in theory, he could. He could just hire a bunch of people, get them out the door, and have this wave. Here's all these sales, and then sales just die. And if he does that, his company might die. So it stinks a little bit that we have this wait for a lot of people to get their printers, but it levels his company out, and he'll be around for years. That's my hope. So I know before the Prusa Mini came out, I know he was working on, I forget what they call it. I don't think it's an official name, like a Prusa XL. There's another Prusa he's working on that's like a big version of the Prusa. It's really sweet. I want to say it was 30 inches. I'd have to go look at it again. And it was going to be, I think his goal was to be under $1,500. So not your average homeschool kind of thing, but really cool. And I think that's what his focus was on. But I think he's probably, a lot has happened this year with the Prusa Mini, so I have a feeling he was hoping to get that out by now, the XL, but I bet you it's not going to happen. But I bet you, depends on where his focus is. I bet you the XL will come out this year, maybe the MK4. But the XL, I would hope it has an LCD screen because some of the possibilities with the LCD screen, it's got a better CPU. There's all kinds of more interesting things he can do. And I understand a bit about it. I mean, I'm a programmer, but also I'm not an embedded programmer. And if you don't know what that means, you don't need to know. But Um, really, on the i3 Mark III, the CPU on there is just a baby tiny CPU, and coding on around it is hard and difficult and very optimized, and they've done a great job. But all of a sudden, they have this one, which has a lot more CPU power, and they have room to breathe. And so I think they're starting to figure out some interesting ideas they can do with it. I think there's going to be some interesting ideas to come up with Ethernet. Like for me, I keep having people push me to go do Octoprint, which I haven't done yet. Um, if I wasn't focusing my channel and my evangelistic ways on the new people and the homeschoolers and trying to introduce people, I would probably have done Octoprint by now. And I still may do Octoprint as a side, but Octoprint, if you say, hey, welcome to 3D printing, and here, install Octoprint, set all this stuff up, they're like, that's just too much. And I don't know where he's going to go with the Ethernet, but I don't know, we'll see where he goes. He's definitely going to he's doing some stuff in-house with the Ethernet to manage server farms. I hope he also produces something, either maybe he's going to riff off Octoprint, or he's going to make his own, where I would like some features personally. Because if you have enough CPU power in there and you have an Ethernet cord in there, or a Wi-Fi adapter too, I would like to be in the Prusa slicer and say, push a button and send it to it and start printing. Versus I have to go, I have to put it on my thumb drive and walk over here and push it. It's not a big deal, but it would be nice to control it that way. Oh, yeah, another thing, Hannibal. With them making hand sanitizer and face mask, I bet it will be delayed. That's another thing. I'm liking Prusa more and more. If you're not familiar with what's going on right now, you should probably go look at Prusa's YouTube channel and see what they're doing. Because he's trying to help out the community. He does all kinds of good stuff in his community. Great businessman from what I can tell. But also right now, him and his guys are trying to figure out how to print face masks. And I looked at it briefly earlier today, but I didn't have enough time to go into it. Now, we're not talking about what you and I would use it for a face mask. The face mask I think that he was making that I saw was something for surgery. So you have these surgeons who come in and they have these plastic visors. And so he was figuring out how to 3D print the parts, not the clear visor part. I think he had some material for that, so he's cutting that out. But he was figuring out the 3D printed parts so he could provide 10,000 things, which is really an interesting idea that in times like this, how can you utilize 3D printers? And so he's been doing that. Also, the hand sanitizer. I hesitate for someone to have a homemade hand sanitizer in this time. I'm like, I don't want to use that. But, from what I saw, and I haven't dug deep into it, he has the SLA printers, what I call the goo printers, which I try to avoid right now because I think that they do a beautiful job, but they're more complex than your average, person who wants to get into 3D printing for the first time. But if he has the goo guys and he's making his own goo, apparently, that means he has some chemists. And so I guess they got together, figured out how to make a hand sanitizer, and they made it for themselves and they made it for their friends and family. So he, is doing a good job helping his community out in this time. What can I do with what I have in my company? Like we all should be doing. How can we help people out right now with what we got going on? So that, that alone might knock them back a month. So if for those of you who are waiting for your Prusa Mini, if you get delayed 2 or 3 weeks, give him some grace because he's trying to help everyone out there during the crisis that we're having. So, kudos to him. Okay, so I'll keep looking over if anyone has any more questions. But yeah, I think Prusa's doing a good job. He's got some exciting times coming in. It's going to be really nice. He's going to do some great jobs. Great stuff. Okay, so now, let's see. So here's my low corner over here. I'm going to go remove this object. I'm going to, let me finish the sketch. Finish. Make sure you're okay. Let me right click on this and edit this sketch again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create something and we'll see what I can do. Well, let's just do lines. Do a line. So the nice thing is, as I draw this, it's actually on this plane, so it's actually going to line up the way I want to, in theory. And I'll do Q, choose both of these, and as I pull it, it should pull up at that angle. So here I'm going to try to make my drain. So we'll try to make it a little sliver, you know, maybe not perfectly on the side, but close. And so I'll hit OK. Oh, we don't want to join. We want to new body. Hit OK. So I got this little thing sticking out. I'll do this. But yeah, you know, back onto a little bit of the crisis. With helping out, I don't know how. I think from this crisis, people will figure out different ways to help out. And, you know, having 3D printers around and having a lot of people who know how to design things pretty quickly and gang up on things and get things done is going to be helpful in the future for whatever kind of crisis we may have. I mean, if we have a flood or EMT and need something, if something runs out, it could be interesting to see what people can help with 3D printing. And along those lines, but in a non-emergency way. So I'm going to put something out to you guys in the community. One thing I am hoping for long term as I grow my channel, and I've done some of these in the past, but they were fairly unsuccessful. But if I can get enough people who are 3D printing and who are getting good at designing things for 3D printing, people can start designing things for homeschoolers and for schoolers. I've done a couple of what I call Manipulative Monday videos where I design like a lemon battery and different things like that, where we can, if I can get enough people in there, if enough people can get interested, can know how to 3D print, can know how to do some good design work, and all of a sudden you could put challenges out, say, hey, I don't know what it would be, like I'm doing a potted plant here. Hey, let's get together and have a challenge to make, would you design some interesting, you know, pots for plant experiments, you know, to keep track of stuff, and put a challenge out to several designers and say, here's a challenge, and then come back and review them, and then bring them out to Thingiverse, different places like that, so teachers could go download and print them to do whatever, or for like some kind of physics experiment, or to teach math, or different things like that. And then you come up with some good designs, because right now, a lot of stuff I've seen out there, it's not that good, and it could be a lot better. And it's also designed. It's like, oh, here's this really neat thing, but it's not designed to print successfully with someone who barely knows how to print. So, oh, here we go. Kevin, the moderator. He says they're going to pull an iPhone Windows and skip a version, going straight to the MK5. Just kidding. All right, we'll see. Or, you know, hey, they might just rename it. Now, at some point, yeah, at some point, watch, they'll do an MK4 and MK5, and then they'll get big enough and they'll make some new name up, right? The Prusa or something. But I like where they're going, because if we wake up 2 years from now and they have a Prusa Mini version 2 that's improved and even easier, I don't want to say cheaper, because I would like the quality to improve and the price to stay the same. And we have an MK3 or MK4 that's now better with an LCD screen and improved. And then they have an XL, you know, a big one that I can rely on, that, you know, can work pretty well, that normal people, well, it wouldn't be an entry level, because, you know, blowing $1,200 or $1,500 is not quite entry level, but to get the next size up, it's, you know, it's kind of nice. Okay, so now we got this. So now if I go, I am going to go join these bodies. So I'll say modify, combine, and I'll select join. What are you going to join? Join. There we go. Then I got this lonely guy out here. And so now I can do modify, combine. It seems silly to say combine to subtract. But I'll select the tool bodies, which will be that one. And if I say cut, it should cut a little hole out there. Oh, look at that. Let me save this. Now let me, for those who've used Fusion 360 a little bit, when you have these individual objects, you can right-click on them and say save as STL. That's what I've been doing recently. It's a little bit quicker and simpler way to do it. Hit OK. Oh, and for those who may be interested, Joel, the 3D printing nerd, did a video recently. I haven't looked into it myself, but apparently in Fusion 360 they added a slicer. So you can slice it and it can print even for the Prusa. But he had some issues with it, but it worked. And also, you know, more people working on slicers is a good thing. So here's a video on that if you want to go out and watch it. Let's see. But before you watch that video, go watch some of the videos that Prusa's put out there. They're pretty good. About the masks, which I haven't watched the whole one yet, but also about the there was one he recently did about the 3D printing nerd did a tour of his facility. I don't know how old that one was, but someone sent me the other day, and it was really cool seeing what they're doing. Okay, if I slice this at 0.15, let's see if I have that nice slope down there. Oh, look at that. Look, all that water should go out just fine. Cool. Well, in fact, well, that's a nice start. Yeah, I think I need to make it thicker. Another thing I like with Fusion 360 is I can come back through the history and I go back to the beginning, edit this sketch, and rather than make that one 70, we'll make it 60. Gives you a bigger round. That might be too much. Hit finish, and then go back to the history, and we should, you know, the nice thing is it'll kind of adds through the history and does everything to it. So now we're back to this, which is kind of nice. Oh, and I should, another thing, if you've been on Instagram where I'm posting a couple of pictures of this, or even the videos I did, I'm liking this gray color. So Hatchbox, who does not sponsor me and I make no money from, they had this PLA, so not PLA, but PLA, and it's this silver, let me go open it before I say it's silver or gray. Right now they're out on Amazon, so I'm like, Urgh. Oh, you know what? I put a picture of it on Instagram. So if you look on Instagram, there's a picture of what I bought. But let me go double check what it was before I steer you in the wrong direction. It is, oh, the PPLA is the Performance PLA, and it is, what do you call it? Where's your color? Well, I took a picture of it today. Well, it's right behind me, so I'm going to have to use it to grab it here. It's the PPLA, and it's silver. Boom, boom, boom. Now, the nice thing is it's supposed to have a matte finish, and it looks pretty cool. So if you, I like the look of it. So if you, if you've seen one of the videos I did on these miniatures, if you look on the My Mini Factory, this 3D rocket pigs, 3D pig rockets, I forget the name. All their images that they put out there are gray, and this is not too far from their rendered image. The look of it, so I like it. Okay, so back to all this. Do I have an image? Here we go. Let me bring this in. This is what my wife was looking for. She wanted me to make a plant for her, so make it square and have cutouts. So we'll see what I can do here. So now, let's see. I can probably, what do I do? I'm trying to think the best way to do this. Create a sketch here. And L for my line key. And then I like to do no more than a 45-degree angle. So 90 plus 45. I can't quite do that straight they want to do. And I come out here, go down a little bit, come out, and rejoin it. And do press pull. And here you actually can do I can pull it further out, like that, and it cuts it. But also, a nicer thing to do is to have it go to an edge. So I can say, let's see, rather than go to a distance, go to an object. And I think I right click on now. Let's see, well, I know I can do it this way. I can go around and click on here. Boom. And so the nice thing about doing that is it makes that cut. But now if I resize everything, it'll make the same cut. So if I go back here and I want it to be 100 by 100, and I go back to the beginning and change the drawing, this will actually do exactly what it's supposed to do. Okay, so I got that. And then I think I can do, I should be able to do a pattern on a path. Okay, so here there's a pattern on a path tool, and I believe, it's been a while. How do I want to do that? Maybe not. Maybe that's not going to work the way I think it's going to work. Stop it. Oh, features. I think it's features. There we go. Features. There we go. Select the path. Select that line. And then you can make more. So I can say we'll make 4 of them. And we'll place them out like that. Okay. Boom. Kind of cool things you can do. But then the question is, how do I match that all around? I know that I can, I'm not sure. I could mirror it, which would get on the other side, but then I don't know about flipping it. That's a good question. If I can mirror it, let me see, let's go to the top. Let me go to sketch, hit L. I'm going to put a line in here just so I can use for mirroring. And click on that, make it a construction line so it doesn't bug anybody. And then I think if I click that and do a mirror, can I? That's the mirror line. Yeah, I have to rethink a better way to do that. Oh, Janel DVD says, hi, did you see the note I left on your last video about Prusa Mini where you can look inside the extruder from the top and the bolt below the PTF tube to change the tension on the filament? I have to go look at that. I know there's the bolt on the bottom, you can change the tension, yeah. But I didn't reach out. But below the PTF tube to change the filament. Yes, yes. I didn't see your note, but thanks for adding that. And, thanks for adding notes like that, because that one I happen to know, but other people read. And when you miss things, it's nice to look at videos and then sometimes to read the comments because a lot of the comments are really good because even the best videos, they forget something. So that's a really good one to know because there is that tension and that can be tricky. So on the i3 Mark III, you have a tension there too. And so you don't want to get it too pressed against it because it'll grind. You don't want it too loose. But yeah, down here, exactly at the bottom of the PTF tube, there's a little tension bolt. You can adjust that to make it tighter or looser. And don't make the mistake that I always make. When things aren't working right, I just want to crank down on that as if it's going to hold it really tightly and push it through. And I just end up scraping it. You don't want it too tight. You want so fiddle with it. Very nice tool they've done there. I also found, I didn't realize this, on the top of it, on the top of that, there's like a little flip plate. So you can flip that up and you can actually see the gear in there and actually be careful. I mean, you could hurt yourself, but there's a gear in there and you can actually clean it out or fiddle with it. I got in there just the other day because mine's a little busted right now, which I busted it. But there was a little bit of debris in there, which actually wasn't causing me a problem, but I was able to hit it with an air can and get it all cleared out, which is nice. But yeah. Okay, but I don't think I can select these objects. I can mirror, but I don't think, it's not going to think that's an object. I do a mirror. I don't think I can do that. Oh, I'm still in a sketch mode. I wonder. Mirror. Faces. Oh, I can mirror features. Sweet. So I can say feature, feature, sweet. And select the mirror plane. Oh, I need a plane, not just a line. Oh, well, I can use, I've done it exactly in the center, so I can actually use the center mirror plane. Duh. Mirror features on, select them all, and select the mirror plane, and if I make it really tiny, I can select that mirror plane, because I happen to make it exactly in the center. Hit OK. Oh, and look at that. I got it on two sides. Cool. But now I need to rotate the features and copy them. Oh, General DVD says, just one last thing. If you pull the bolt fully out, it opens up the extruder from the inside. Oh. On the bottom? I'll have to go fiddle with that. It might be fodder for another video. How do you take that thing apart? If you pull the pod, it opens the extruder from the inside. Nice. Oh, another thing. For anyone buying a Prusa Mini, there is that, I think it's a $20 upgrade to get the filament sensor. Now, I happen to have one here. I would say get it. Because what that filament sensor does is when the filament runs out, it keeps pulling it, it'll stop everything. So that your print won't run out of, so that it won't just print empty. Eventually it would push, if you don't have it, it'll push all the way through, have no filament, and just sit there doing nothing. So at 20 bucks, it's a bargain. Get it, put it on, no questions asked. I think the only reason he didn't add it as a default is he was just trying to make that happy $350 number. Now you can survive without it, but for 20 bucks, get it. The Prusa i3 Mark III has it, technically, but technically mine doesn't work because I don't know why. It never really did work, so I worked my life around it. And I tried to fix it once, but I didn't get, I have a real job in life, and so I can't fix everything all the time. I work around it, but even then, it costs you money even though I pay attention, it costs me money when a print runs out. I'm like, gotta throw this away. It's half done. I used a wooden, General DVD says, I used a wooden toothpick for the gripper wheel as I tried TPU with too much tension. Is the Prusa Mini even set up? I mean, does he even claim it can do TPU? I don't think he does. It probably, if you maybe got to fiddle with it, but I think does he even say you can use? I know he does PETG and PLA, but I don't know if it's set to do TPU, or if he doesn't claim it can do TPU. You probably can. But I actually haven't done TPU, so I need to go do it one of these days. And correct me if I'm wrong, but TPU, basically you got all kind of different plastics. Like, PLA is going to be pretty stiff and hard, like this thing I fiddle with all the time. But you've seen some plastics you can print out that you've seen at the store where it's like, I don't want to say rubbery, but more rubbery, where it can, be flexible and push things. One of my many scam calls calling me. But it's a really cool thing because you can print squishy things. I just haven't yet, but I should. Okay, so we got this done. Now how do I copy? I bet you I can move, because if you do a move, I think you can do a move and a copy at the same time. Well, bodies. It's not a feature. I mean, there's a mirror of a feature. Can I rotate a feature? That is the ultimate question. Rotate feature. Can I rotate a feature? It's not going to translate. It's not going to move. It's not going to. Can I copy a feature? Well, let's move and copy. No. It's not faces, because it's like just the face. Well, I could copy the sketch, I guess. Oh, here you go. General DVD says, I use TPU on Ender 3 to make phone cases. Ah, that'd be a cool idea. I haven't printed any phone cases myself at all. Never had a desire to. But yeah, if I printed a phone case in PLA, it would just be way too stiff. I mean, there's some things you could do to, it just sounds like a bad idea. But a TPU, there you go. Oh, or, well, there's some other even more flexible stuff. Like I got this from I forget where I was at. I was at some little festival and someone had a 3D printer there. And this was probably 5 years ago. And they had NinjaFlex. So this guy was printing out this NinjaFlex and showing it off to everyone. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I said, hey, can you just cut that up into a bunch of little pieces and hand them out? And he's like, yeah. And so I got this NinjaFlex. But since then I've never bought any NinjaFlex, but I really need to because it's just really cool. But also, without any exotic materials, I mean, TPU, I wouldn't put an exotic material, but it's a little bit exotic. But there's so much you can do even before you even start printing TPU. And for me, the big thing, unless someone has some crazy desire, like they really want to make phone cases, that might be the selling point. But I want people to get in to 3D printing and be highly successful for their first month, where they can just go download and print and print and print, and they see things working. We're all going to have issues, but if they have a high level of success at first, they'll stick with it. Versus if you walk in there and the first thing you print just bombs, you're like, why am I going to do this? Versus, you see that most of the time things work out pretty well, and you're willing to fight through, the times where it may not work quite so well. Okay, so I have this sketch. Oop, nope, not that one. Oh, you print out some better feet for the MK. Oh, yeah, feet for the MK. Yeah, General DVD says, I also print out some better feet for the MK3S. I like that idea. Oh, speaking on that, there is the, what is he, the CNC Kitchen? I always mess his name up. CNC Kitchen? CNC Kitchen guy? Yeah, the CNC Kitchen guy. If you haven't watched his channel, CNC Kitchen, great guy. He doesn't do a lot of videos, but he has really detailed videos on, very engineering things, what thing vibrations and different little details and different kinds of filament, how strong they are versus infill and blah, 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 blah. One thing he recently did, which I have some anecdotal evidence for, which this is what I do, is, he's talking about putting different feet on there and how it's, how does it reduce the noise versus different things. And one thing someone suggested, which he did some tests on, is to just put your printer on a big, heavy block. And the big, heavy block helps a lot with the noise. And I can attest to that. So what I did, I have this little makeshift thing that I have on the i3 Mark III, and it's just a couple of boards I slapped together. But inside it, at the time, I was just grabbing things around the house. I had a bunch of bricks. So I put a bunch of bricks in there, padded them, so the base actually is very heavy. My base probably weighs 50 pounds. And that alone kind of helped silence a little bit because, the vibration was trying to work through and the noise. So he was just showing a big heavy slab of, I think just a paver from the store. It worked pretty well. So that's a good thing versus it just jostling around everywhere. Okay, so how can I... I can... What can I do? Oh, you know what? I know what I can do. I can come here, hit Q again, and this time I'm going to join. And I'll just make it, well, should I make it bigger? It doesn't matter. I'll say to an object, to this object. So it exists. Now I don't want to join. I want to make a new body. So now it exists. Well, I guess I can see it now because it's there. And now I can probably rotate that and then subtract it and then do the same thing on this side of that. Maybe. So we'll move that, right? Let's move it to the center. So choose the center, and we will rotate it 90 degrees, and move this out. Because I'm 80, I should move this out 40, right? And then move this out 40. Oh, hey, look at that. Hit OK, so now it's there. So now I should do modify, combine, choose this guy, choose there's the cut, hit OK. Hey, look at that. And then maybe I can do the pattern of the path again. Oh, not that. Components, not components, features. Right. Features is how do I do all of that? I guess okay. Oh, well, that's probably a better way to do it, just to do the whole round thing and then have them go down. You know what? I think I'll go do that. So if I go back in time here, I got that one. I'll delete that pattern and delete that sketch and delete the mirror. I got the move. There we go. Oh, and general DVD. Sorry for interrupting you. Last comment, as you missed a previous comment where I informed you you were the large window is on inside of an extruder and opens up, so any debris can fall out by gravity. Oh, I didn't know that. It's on the inside of the extruder. That's smart. I need to go look at that. Also, there's another. Oh, sorry for the noise. Oh, well, there you go. Isn't that nice? There is another one there. I need to make a video on that. I didn't notice. Okay, so right where the extruder is, I found that little flip top, but he's just saying there's a flip top, there's a flip on the bottom to let gunk out. I didn't notice. Nice. Very, very nice. It's a great design. Prusa did a good job, right? Okay, so now, hey, and it's okay to interrupt. The point of this video is not for me to make a pot. Sometimes I've had videos where, hey, we're gonna make a pot and I'll go over something. The point of this video was anyone asking me questions that Prusa made, anything like that. So that is the whole point. So interrupt away while I try to make this pot. And also, go on My Mini Factory and go get some of those cool prints. I mean, they cost a little bit, but some of these prints I didn't have anything like this the last conference, but if I bring a couple of these, this is going to sell some people. People are going to see that and go, ah, that's enough to justify me getting a printer. You know, they'll see that and go, wow, I didn't know it could do that. I didn't know the details it could do. So, or iPhone cases, you know, I probably won't have enough time. I mean, it's funny to say it's March and June is 3 months away, but I have a job and kids, so it's iffy whether I can get some time to do some proper TPU. But if I did some proper TPU and brought some iPhone cases or some squishy things people could see, that would sell some people too. If I don't get to it this year before the conference, I will definitely make sure I get it on the list for next year because people will see that squishiness. Um, and also, for people who want to make a little bit of money on the side, for me, I have, aside from doing my channel, I have no intention of selling 3D prints. But for some of these homeschool kids, this conference, they might look at that and go, ah, phone cases. Boy, I want to go print some phone cases for my friend and make a couple of bucks. So they can, you know, not only, so part of that is homeschool teaching. So part of that is, oh, my wife's looking at me. Part of that is, part of teaching is some kids are entrepreneurs. And so some kids would see that 3D printer and go, wow, I can print a bunch of little figurines, or I can go print a bunch of phone cases, and I can go make some money. Like I had one group there. I didn't have any good examples from the time. I don't have any good ones right now, but they saw it, and they were a group that made miniature stuff for houses, like doll houses or something. I forget all the details, but they were looking at it going, "Wow, we could print some tiny furniture, and that might be a good thing to do." Oh, General DVD says, to get to it, just undo fully the Allen key bolt at the front. It is that easy. You will see the tension wheel that's actually smooth. Oh, wow. I've been fixing my printer here, and I've been hesitating to open that up at all because I didn't want to get in there. But now what you're saying, it looks like they've made some access ports so you don't have to take the whole thing apart. Oh, Channel DVDs also says, I'm intending to do some TPU printing. Once I get it sorted, I will tell you my settings. Cool. Maybe I should just go get a roll of TPU and just print something, just so people will see that. The more squishy stuff. And if I remember right, I haven't dealt with TPU, but I think on TPU there are different levels of TPU, so I think you can get different squishiness. Okay, let me mirror this feature. Oh. Or I guess I can, no, because I got these, I can just mirror it. No. Ah, stop it. You're selecting the whole thing. So select the mirror plane, select that, hit OK. And then I think I just need to mirror it one more time. Mirror this side. Let's see. Mirror, features. There we go. And select. There we go. So now I think I got them all. Oh, I did not. What did I do there? Mirror, features, come on. Might as well grab it all, why not? It's redundant, but. And then select my mirror plane, and I want to select that mirror plane. Make sure it's showing up. Yep, should. Maybe not showing up. Oh, and we have Matt B. I ordered my Prusa Mini on 10/25. I probably won't get it until next month, over 5 months later. The delivery date keeps getting pushed back due to the coronavirus. Yeah, I'll forgive him a little bit because of the coronavirus. Um, and also, he's a small company. So, we could argue all day long about how he could have done a better launch to get all these Prusas out. But he has to keep, ideally a nice pipeline going. And the Prusa Mini is probably a little more successful than he thought it was going to be too. So um, there's that. So he's done, I don't know. But yeah, getting with the coronavirus, let's give everyone some grace. We'll see what kind of financial impact it's going to have. And when all is said and done, we just all need to help each other out during the crisis and help everyone out after the crisis, all the economic impacts. And, he's doing a good job helping out his community right now. So if everything gets pushed back a month, okay, you can complain. Hey, it sucks. But, they're working hard. And also, it's a good product. I like what he's doing. So why are you not letting me get my features there? No, I don't want that. I want that one. And I want to select the mirror plane. And I want to select that one. And it looks like it's put in the right place. In theory. But you're not removing it. Dang it. I wonder what's going on there. Okay, I'll just go. Oh. Maybe. Maybe I should do it all as one object. Maybe I'm just making my life miserable. If I do it all as one object all the way around and join them all, that's probably a better way to do it. He says in theory. Okay, I'm going to wipe all these out. Yeah. Delete. In fact, it's probably a better way to do it based on resize and everything. So what I'll probably do is I'll come here, do a Q, press pull, and then rather do a cut, do a new body, do it to an object, and do it to here. So now it's a new object, but of course you can't really see it. But I can hide that body, and I can take this and do a mirror, not a feature, but an object, body, mirror that, and select that plane. Okay, and then I can combine these, there we go, select that, and do a join, so under one body, and then do a move, oh, stop it. Select that, and I don't want to do it that way, let's see. So I want to put that, Let's see, Matt B says, I get what you're saying. I was just hoping to have the Mini a few months ago. I have 5 other printers, but the Mini will be my first Prusa. I wish I'd known how long it'd take to get when I pre-ordered. Yeah, yeah, totally. Uh, he, they're putting a lot of them out, but yeah, it's if you ordered it that early, you would think you would have had it by now. You know, because from let's say a week ago to now, a week ago, coronavirus was impacting people. But before that, it wasn't. So yeah, you would think if you were ordered on 10, you said 10/25, yeah, you would think you'd have it by now. I ordered mine like the second day or even the afternoon of the first day they announced it. So I got in there pretty quick. But, you know, he's just a small manufacturer. So it's going to be a while before he gets his. He's doing a lot of good stuff. But hopefully Prusa Mini version 2 will have a better launch, right? But man, you got to have a lot of respect for people who have their ducks in a row, who have huge budgets, like iPhone. You know, iPhone, when they come up with the next iPhone, imagine trying to have that many things produced, you know, millions and millions of things produced ready to go at launch. It's just, they have the capital to put up for that. You know, Prusa um, is getting, I'm sure he's getting more and more capital as time goes on, but he probably couldn't afford to, you know, make 5,000 Prusa minis that he hadn't yet sold, because he could have like, he probably made a few before he announced it, but he probably couldn't go make 5,000, then announce it, and then be able to fulfill orders real quickly, just because he's not that big yet. But now watch, by the time he gets the XL, I would imagine is not going to sell as many as the Prusa Mini. So probably when he announces that, he'll have more cash, he'll be better off, and he'll have more made when he announces, and so he'll be able to probably fulfill the orders a little bit better on that one. But you know, yeah, you know, I forgive Prusa a lot, because I shouldn't say forgive. I give him a lot of grace because he's doing a real good job. You know, and I hope he stays around a long time, because not only about the printers he's making, but also the software and working really hard. And he seems to believe uh, in making things easier and more approachable for human beings. You know, trying to make these things, like sometimes I say, trying to make it the microwave oven. We're not there yet, but the microwave oven, we just use it, we push a button, it makes it, you know. Um, oh, okay, stop. Yeah, Matt B. Also, he fixed bugs after he sent out the first few hundred orders. Totally, he's totally revising things. So, like, I'm doing a video right now, and someone was mentioning zip ties. Like, oh, we had problems with these zip ties. And I didn't have any problems. Mine was fine. But as I'm working on this, I'm noticing, okay, I think they were talking about the zip tie. And I was looking up some different websites, and where that zip tie is, they're no longer doing a zip tie. They replaced it. So it's now, they fixed it. Now there's a 3D printed part holding that out there. So I like it that he iterates really quickly. So you could order the Prusa Mini you're going to get is going to have different parts than my Prusa Mini. I was part of the first batch. I wouldn't say the first 100, but maybe the first 300 maybe, or 400, I'm not sure. I was probably the second-ish batch, but yours is going to be different, and I'm okay with that. And also, you know, I looked on there the other day, and there was an upgrade kit for like 16 bucks. I'd go buy this part and upgrade mine if I had a problem, you know, and I didn't. But I like that he does that. Or like on my Prusa i3 Mark III, they've changed the fan design. So they keep finding little different ideas, and they keep iterating and tweaking. They don't wait 2 years to fix something. They keep changing, sometimes almost monthly, you know, as they have little fixes. So that's a great deal. Okay, I have these. They are one body, but I need to select the center. Let's see, if I move them, I can move the, oh, no, let's see, I need to join them, but they're not joined. So if I say combine that, and we join them, now they're one body. Now if I say move, should I only move one when they're one body? Okay, that would make sense. Oh, they're not joined because they're not touching. They're not grouped, they have to be touching to be one thing. Yeah, because we're not going to join. Oh, let's see, new component. No, it's not going to join because I can't. They're different objects. But if I want to rotate them, make a center point. So I can say move. I can select both. That's nice. But I need to be able to change the center point. How do I do that? I can be lazy. I got an idea. How about I go down here, create a sketch. There's probably a better, easier way to do this, but I'm going to be lazy. So make a little circle here. Do a Q, press pull. Boom. All right. And I'm going to wipe this guy out later. Oh, let's see. How about copy rotate 90 degrees? Oh, I'm just reading. Okay, General DVD says, how about copy rotate 90 degrees? I can rotate, but I got to be in the center. And so Matt B says, sorry, I joined the stream midway. What are we making in Fusion 360? Well, first of all, for this stream, I didn't have anything prepared. It was just about answering questions about Prusa and just chatting. But that'd be really boring just looking at me. So I'm preparing something I didn't prepare too much about. But my wife has been asking me for a pot. So she wants some planters just for me to 3D print a pot to put some stuff in. And let's see, let's see if I can show, oh, come on, Pinterest. There we go. I found some planters on Pinterest that she thought were interesting. So here are like one. So I'm trying to replicate something like this. So, but I'm kind of using this as a twofer. I'm making something for her, but also I would like to figure out some way to print pots for homeschool that you can print for homeschool, like an idea of, I was thinking about doing it in Fusion 360 so that you could put text or something on there. So you like experiment 1, experiment 2, or making a space for a sticky note or something. So I may come, after I make something for my wife, I may come back to this and say, okay, how do we make some simple potted plants? And if you go on Thingiverse, there's lots of little pots that are cute, like a little octopus one or things like that. But how do you make one that's homeschooly or schooly enough to help kids like make their experiments? You know, here's a couple of plots that are interesting that have, you know, experiment 1, 2, or 3, or you can put a sticky note on, something like that. And Steve in the Lightspeed, you can love your pivot point. I need to go, I know there's a better way to do this, I'm sure. But let me go, I'm going to cheat and create this one. So now, if I say this, I can easily click on the center, right? Hit Shift, join these guys, hit create a copy, and then do 90 degrees. See, there's probably another way to do this, but that way worked. Okay, and now if I go up here and say, modify, combine, that one, that one, that one, that one, do a join, boom. And then I can go down to, let's see which body are you? Okay, now I don't need this guy. Okay, so sure, he's not removed, I'll just not look at him. Which is nice in Fusion 360, you can remove something from here, and if you make your STL file, it's not going to show up in there. So if I made an STL file of this, it would just be this little piece hanging in the air, so it's a nice thing you can do. Okay, so now if I do bring that guy back, and I think if I just do a combine, choose that one, select that guy, and say cut. Boom. And also, just to show everyone, here at the top, I'm doing a 45-degree angle. My general rule of thumb is I try to not do anything more than a 45-degree overhang, just to make it really easy to be a successful print, right? Okay, so now let's see if I can do the pattern on the path now. So I select the feature. Cool, it looks like it's selecting everything. select the path, that line. Oh, come on, don't select that line. Select, there we go. And then let's say make 4 of them, right? I'm not super concerned about the distance, it's just going to be equidistant. Oh, no, 6. Boom, boom. Not 5. Go to 4. And I think it'll work. Ah, nope. What did I do wrong? Let's see. Pattern on a path. Select that guy. Select the path. My other choice is to into feature. Let's share. I thought I had that work before. And the other option is to leave it as an object and pull it down and have it delete. Okay, let's see if that works. I don't. Yeah, that's not going to work. Okay, so we can go back a couple of steps. Okay, so we'll just leave that as is without deleting it. Now let's try pattern on path. But this time choose a body, not that body. Okay, we can remove that body, so it's easier to choose that body. And then select a path, and go down, select 4. Here's another thing for homeschooling or regular schooling. Fusion 360 is a good thing to learn because this is from Autodesk, the guys who make AutoCAD. This is a real program. So, oh, not that one. People actually use this in their daily job. It's not some cutesy-wootsy thing that is okay to do, some little tiny thing, but really has no application in the workforce. People are using this for their living. Okay, so let's hit OK on that. Now, modify, combine, select that guy, and then select the tools. Boom, 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 boom. Aha! Cool. Hey, look, that looks close. And also, for those who weren't here at the beginning, the bottom of this, what I had done is I wanted it to slope to one corner. So it actually, in the bottom, it actually slopes, and there's a little bit of a water relief valve here, I guess you would say. Hey, look, that almost kind of looks like it, huh? Let's go. And for those who've used Fusion 360, you can select an object like this, right-click on it, and say Save as STL. So hit OK, and I'll hit Desktop, replace it. I think this actually is going to work. So let's go throw this in here. Boom. Not bad. So we'll slice it and see how it looks. Look at that. And then just to show on the bottom, you can see how the layers are there, so it kind of angles in. So it should, in theory, see there's the angle, so the water should flow down right to that corner and come out. Boom. There we go. Looks like it should take 11 hours to print at that size. And then there's another thing, you know, I don't want to say, well, fail fast. So try different things out. I mean, like here, I'm probably not going to print this at 100% size. I'll probably chop it down to, I don't know, let's see, 30%, because I would like to get it done a little quicker. Not that she would use this, I just want to see, you know, is the water actually going to spill out in the direction I want? So let's see, is that going to be, if I do it 30% size, does it look like the water might, oh, yeah, water should come out. Cool. Well, that is getting printed. Okay, I'm going to go export this and print this. And probably a picture might show up on Instagram or something of it. So, anyway, any last questions I'm about to go wrap it up because I think it's getting close to dinner time here. And I might have to go do some more shoveling. In Denver, it is snowing like crazy. And it's cold. But yesterday was shorts weather. So anyway. Okay, if there's no more questions, then we will stop at that. So thanks everyone for joining. This was a lot of fun, and thanks for the feedback and thanks for the questions because I love doing things like this. I'm a programmer. We do things called pair programming where we pair up and work together. And it's nice to pair up with you guys because you guys invoke ideas that I hadn't thought about, or you point things out. I didn't realize there was that little flap at the bottom. Now you say it, I go, oh man, it's kind of obvious. It's right there. In fact, they should print it in a different color. If they 3D print it in a different color, it'd be obvious. Right now it's all orange and you're kind of like, couldn't quite tell it, but they should print it in black and then it would be real obvious. But I'll have to go fiddle with that. So anyway, thanks guys. And I'm gonna go kill my stream here. Stay safe out there and help out who you can, and hopefully all this too shall pass with all this stuff going on right now. But hey, thanks for coming. We'll talk to you later.